Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. For today's review, we're going to be looking at a tool called VideoToPage. This tool essentially allows you to upload your videos and turn them into all types of content. It does this by transcribing the video, creating content that you choose. You can review and edit and publish or download it. But it is more than just that. You can talk with a chatbot to complete live editing. AI will also add screenshots in the correct places as well, and you can upload to platforms like WordPress and Notion. There are other tools that are similar, such as Video2Blog or Blogify, and they are great tools within their own rights, but actually VideoPage is my favorite one to use right now, and I'm going to show you why. So I've tested VideoPage out for a few hours, and what I've seen so far I really like. First of all, when you sign in, you'll see the dashboard, and on the left here, you've got the sidebar where you can access your media, where you can have folders. You've got my projects, ones that are published. You've got workflows, which we'll come across later. And you have some settings down here, and we'll have a look at that in a bit. And then you've got new upload. So I'll just show you an example of blog post that I have created from a YouTube video, one of my own. I write reviews, so this is kind of the layout when you click on one. And at the top you'll see your YouTube description, the title, the video, all of that information. And if we go to content analysis, this is what has happened for me to generate this script. So it transcribed the whole video. You can see that it also generated advanced chapters, so you can tailor the AI, or you can even put in your custom instructions here, or it will create ones that it feels is right for the video, which is really good. And there's advanced screenshots. And I'll show you how to create this in just a sec, but this is essentially what the blog post looks like, and it's added in screenshots. It's a very neat format, and it's all in sync with the YouTube video. So it starts from the beginning and all the way to the end. So really good blog post, and it's almost ready to publish, all part from a few editing sections that I need to change or have changed. Okay, so on the dashboard, what I'd first like to see is the YouTube thumbnails there seem to be cut off, and it would just be good to set the optimization so you can see all the thumbnails completely and even the titles. It's no biggie, but it would make it look better. So to upload your YouTube video, you go to upload, big orange button there. You can add in your YouTube URL, or you can upload your own video, and you can even record live into here. So I'm going to grab one of my software reviews called Ollie Social, and if I just copy that there, upload and configure, and it's that simple. And now we'll download it and we'll take a look at the options. And the one thing I like about VideoToPage is that it's never had a problem with YouTube's API, or there's never been any restrictions. They've always had it available, whereas there's a tool called Cast Magic which is very popular, but they can't seem to stay on top of all the changes and restrictions that YouTube are putting in. So kudos to VideoToPage for this. So that took about 30 seconds to generate the video content. And when I say generate, it's just added in the video, which means it's ready for analysis. So if we scroll down a bit, we have two tabs here, two options. One of them is dashboard and the other is assets. So if we go to assets, you'll see the media files. So from here, you can actually download the video into MP4. You can just download the audio or the transcript or the transcript text, and that one's SRT. But you can't do the transcript yet because we actually haven't transcribed the video, which takes me on to the next stage. Now, before you generate any content, you actually have to transcribe the whole video. So if we go to this little plus icon, you can choose from a ton of different languages, all the popular ones here. You can add in custom vocabulary. So it says start typing to add words to the vocabulary. So for instance, I don't think the AI would be able to understand how to spell Ollie Social, or Ollie, it might spell O-L-L-I. So if we type in Ollie Social, and I don't know if this will work exactly, but essentially if we add this in, the AI will hopefully pick up the correct spelling. You can come under here and you can have generate paragraphs, which means that generation is for supported services, and you can add punctuation marks to the transcript, which we definitely want. So it says here the transcription is 29 minutes and 45 seconds, and what that means is it will take away 29 minutes and 45 seconds of your allocated amount of time credits, because the credits are a time-based system. So if you transcribe 3 hours of video content, that will take off 3 hours. So something to be mindful of, especially if you have the lower amount of credits, but you can always top up and buy a higher subscription. So if we go to start transcription, and now that will take a couple of minutes to transcribe all the 29 minutes. And the more the AI has to transcribe, the longer it will take, but it is very accurate, as you'll see very shortly. So really cool. That took less than a minute, which I was quite surprised about. Now, what you can do here is you can go to advanced chapters, and basically the AI, now it's analyzed your transcript, will generate chapters for your blog post, and they are very accurate, to be fair. But if you don't trust the AI, or you want to tell the AI how to structure your chapters, you can add in some examples here of what you want, and this is optional. So we'll just get the AI to generate the chapters, and that will take a few seconds. Okay, so here are the chapters that the AI has generated. They're nice and short and to the point. So these are technically like the headings. So we've got the introduction and overview. It gives you the timestamps that it will build the content for. We got the setup and configuration. So that's all the way up to 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes to 11, and so forth. And at the end, we have the pricing and reviews. And this is exactly how it's laid out in the video. And on the right here, you have a chat assistant. And it will basically tell you what the AI has done, or the AI assistant. So successfully stored, set up the end times for each chapter, and tells you the total length. Now what we can do here is basically ask the chat assistant to modify the outline or the chapters. So if I typed in something like add an FAQ at the end and go to enter, or click that little arrow sign, it has added in a new chapter, chapter 7, and it's called FAQ and Final Thoughts. Now let's just leave it at that, but what you could do is just come in here and ask the AI anything, and it will add it into these chapters here, which is really cool. Or you could go to this plus icon and add a new chapter. You can also change the time, or you can delete them if they don't make sense, or you want some different ones. And if we go to YouTube chapters, it will tell you in kind of a text format what they are, and easy to read way. And you can just paste these in to your description or add it in a comment, and it's ready to just copy and paste, and it will work out the box. So now that we've got our chapters or our outline, let's go back to media, and now what we can do is generate the content based on our advanced chapters. Now you have 3 options here to start off with, or you can click generate new content. This will bring up this pop-up. Now these are the most popular ways to generate your transcription from. So you have long form blog post, so that's a detailed blog post derived from the video, and that will generate a really long one. You have an authentic blog post which captures the transcript, tone and style, so that's quite cool. You've even got how-to guides, so if it is a guide on what to do, such as putting a carpet down, you could click that one. You've got listicles, case studies, interview, alternative options. You can even have a comparison and a review. And mine is essentially a review, which will be structured into a blog post, and that's what the video is about, so we'll go with that. You also have a few more options, and you can have it as an SEO focused articles. But what you'll find, if you click on one of these, it's not additional, it actually changes this, so it takes it off review, and now it would be SEO focused, so it doesn't mix them together. So something just to be mindful of. You also have educational content. You can have it as a tutorial or a documentation. You can have it as video digest, clean transcripts, and even working notes. So there's a lot of options, and these are the most popular, and I'm just going to stick to review because that's what it is. And we have got advanced chapters, so we're going to tick that on, or just press the tab so it highlights there. And then you've got a bunch of tones. Now you can't create your own tone, but to be fair, you don't really need to, because if your video is from your perspective, or you want it as original from how you spoke, you'll just go to original. You can even add in custom context for the AI, so you can tailor it exactly how you want the output to be. And now what's really cool is you can generate images. And there's a short description here about what this means. So it actually extracts images from the video if available at the start of each section. So in advanced chapters at the start of each section, if you had 8, it would generate 8 images, and it will try to figure out what those images are related to and actually choose the screenshot at the correct time of that section. And if it gets it wrong, you can manually adjust it, and it literally takes seconds, very easy to do. You can also click this off, but this is a really unique feature that I haven't seen any others have. I think Video2Blog has it, but they do this really well in Video2Page. And you can also generate quotes, which is always quite appealing for viewers to look at, and they come out really well. So once you're done, you go to Generate Project. Now the video will appear here, and there'll be a little loading icon, and from my experience, it takes no more than a minute or two to generate a blog post, depending on how long it is. But what's really cool is if you want to generate different content for this video, you can just go in here, change all these settings, or you might want it as a case study. You can click there and generate project. Now it will use the credits or the minutes up again, so it's not once it's transcribed it, you can basically create as much content as you want. It will cost 29 minutes and 45 seconds, but you can do this multiple times. So if we click on the video that's currently generating, it will actually display all the content that is generated so far. And if we scroll all the way down, it will have the sections, and it will tell you what it's generating, and it's going through each one individually. So you can actually start reading it from the top. And I believe you can edit it whilst it's generating. Okay, so the first thing I noticed is it has spelled Ollie wrong, and what we put earlier obviously didn't work. Maybe I had to add that into the additional context, which I didn't. So that could have been my bad, but what we did, it didn't seem to pick up on the correct spelling, but that's okay. This is very easy to change. Now, what you'll see on this screen is it has an overall reading analysis score, and it says here it's difficult, and I'm not quite sure why, because it is a review and it has to be very on par with that. So I wouldn't always go by this. I mean, it might say difficult, but it depends on your content. And as you can see, it's going up as the sections have been created. So I don't really go by that. If your content is what the viewers want to see, then just go with that. And before we get into the editing features, on the left here, you'll see your video. You have the content editor. So it's like a table of contents, and whatever one you click on, it will take you to that section. So a quick way of filtering through your blog post. We also have project settings here, where you can change some of the additional settings, and then you can save and regenerate. But it does say this will reset the project and regenerate the summary and pages, which is irreversible. So you can't just press Control and Z, they will be lost. So it's something to be mindful of. But if you're not happy with the result, you can just go through all these options and generate a new blog post. Video2Page have some additional cool features you can do here. So you can actually go to any of these sections here. For instance, if I wanted to go to Get Started with Ollie, I will just go there, and you can start editing the section by going to Edit. Now it's got like a text toolbar, so you can do some nice things here, such as insert a table. You can add your bold, italics, source mode. It's got, yeah, quite a few things. You can insert an image. So when you click on one of the edit sections, it will highlight it in a kind of grey colour, which could stand out a bit more because it's quite hard to identify that if you're not sure what it does. But on the left here, it will bring up some more options here. Now you can actually generate section by section, and now that we've got this one highlighted, if we just scroll up, if you're not happy with this content, you can actually go to this little drop down arrow, and you can choose from any of these. So if you wanted, for instance, to be more generic, I would just click on that, and it will basically turn this text into some new instructions. So it's got some quotes that it might want to add in here. And as you can see, it really didn't pick up on the word Ollie very well, but that's okay because we can actually tell the AI what to do. And you can do this globally on the whole blog post, but it will create a new one. But if you wanted to do it section by section, you can just add it in here. So first of all, I'm going to add in here at the top, turn all the Ollie AI and volley into the correct spelling of Ollie AI. And what that will do, hopefully, is turn those particular spellings into Ollie AI the correct way. Now, it's also given a kind of outline as to what to base this section on. Let's just say that I'm happy with that because it does look quite good for an introduction, although it'd be more generic. And if we go to save and regenerate, it says you have made changes to this page, you will lose them. Yes, reset and regenerate. And now what that will do is you can see that it's changing this whole section because it's kind of grayed out here and it's loading. But if I scroll down, nothing else is happening, which means only this section is being edited. And voila, now we have a new edited section. And the first thing you may notice is Ollie is correctly spelled. So this is the kind of heading for this page. At the top here, this is actually the main title, so you can just manually adjust that. That wasn't what we asked the AI to edit. And basically, it's created a more generic looking introduction. So Ollie AI is a powerful social media assistant that works right in your Chrome browser. It's got a couple of quotes here. It's got the key features in a bullet point format, how it compares. This is what I basically put. It compares to Reply Mind and Merlin AI. Getting started preview, and that basically then takes you on to the next section. So really nice, quick, easy way to change the content to what you want. And you can do this per section, and you can also do this globally. So I will show you that now. Back on project settings, what I'm going to do here is go to custom context, and I will put in here this review is based on the software called Ollie AI. This is the correct spelling. Now, hopefully what that will do is the AI will take that into consideration, and all of the incorrect spelling should be Ollie AI. And it may pick up on most of them, it may not pick up on all of them. But also in the summary, I can add that in here. And I thought I could, but you can't actually adjust the summary. So let's just go to save and regenerate. I want to keep the same template, and let's see what this gives us. Okay, so the new content has been generated, and let's go through and see if it's picked up on the correct spelling. It looks like it has. Ollie AI there. Let's have a look. Ollie there. And if we go down, Ollie. So it looks like it has, and that's really cool. So if it has a lot of errors, you can just do that. And it actually hasn't taken any credits off for regenerating. So let's say we want to edit from the actual blog post and sections itself. All you need to do is go to a section and go to edit. And from here, you've got this toolbar at the top that we went over. You can change the heading of that section. And this is the screenshot. So if the screenshot doesn't align with what the section is about, you can simply go to this settings icon, and now you'll come across this screen. And at the top, it's got the current image. And down here is where you'll want to change the image of the video. So it's as simple as dragging this little bar across, and if I wanted it as there, you would just go to take screenshot, and now it will load. And if you go up here, you will see that this image here will now change to the screenshot you want. And just take a couple of seconds, and there we go. Now you can actually crop the image, you can just save it, or you can even edit the image. So if I wanted to have some padding, for instance, you can make them look really good here, some border radius. And let's just see if I wanted the dimension 16:9. Oh no, that's a bit big. What do we have it on Twitter? So that looks better. You can have flux or blurry gradient. Then you can change the colors. So I might want that one, and let's just say that blends in well. All you need to do is go back, which there doesn't seem to be. Maybe if we go down. Oh, there you go. I just had to drag the bar on the right down, but it'd be easier if you could scroll down, but for some reason you can't. But once you're done, you go to save changes, then you go to save image, and now that will show here in your blog post. What I'd really like to see if you could do this globally across your blog post or save it as a template. So when you create the perfect background or whatever, you can have that populate across all your images. And even if you change one of them to a different screenshot, that would be really quick and it will make your life a lot easier. So what I have noticed, and they don't have this implemented like other platforms, which is no big deal because there's plenty of tools that can help, is if you highlight some of the text, there's no AI options, and this will obviously come at a cost to the company, but it would be cool if they added that option so you could highlight the text. It would say some options such as rephrase or make longer, or whatever, but overall it does a really good job of keeping it clean and making it look good. And these blog posts are really accurate in regards to transcription, and don't forget I had it in my language and it picks up on it really well. You can tell they're using a higher quality AI model. It was either Claude, the new one, 3.7, I think, or they use GPT-4o or even a new one. So they are updating, and you can tell the content is really good. Now, what I did notice is it didn't add in an FAQ section, but that's okay because I'm going to show you an additional feature that you can do this quite easily with. Now, if you click on this little icon on the side here, perhaps it could be slightly bigger because especially on mobile, it's very hard to see. But this will open up this side panel where you can chat with the assistant, the AI assistant. You can basically ask it anything you want and it will add it into the blog post. Okay, so I've added in an FAQ at the end of the blog post, no more than 5 questions, blah, 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 blah. And you can actually speak through a microphone for this, which is quite cool. And all you need to do is hit that little arrow, and now it will be generating an FAQ section for us. And that will take a few seconds. And now it's given us what the output is. So it said a concise FAQ section, and it's basically created what I've asked for it. Now, if we go down a little bit, you will find here the frequently asked questions. It's even given a screenshot because we don't have one. It just pulled in one at the end, but you can actually delete this if you want. So if we go to edit, and or you can upload your own, but let's just say we don't want that, and there we go. So it's picked up on the correct spelling, which is good. It's added in question here, and that's not a heading. It doesn't have an option to add a heading, but you can just add this in and change it when you upload it to WordPress or wherever and manually change it. So no biggie. And I think it's because I deleted the screenshot, it's gone like that. Anyway, so that's the first question. What platforms does Ollie AI support? Do I need to provide my own API keys? So these are all ones that are quite important, and you can see they're quite precise. It's not too long. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as I requested. And you can basically come in here and ask the chatbot absolutely anything, and it will update this accordingly. And so that's really, really cool. I like this a lot. Now, you're probably wondering how you can share this blog post. Luckily, VideoToPage has quite a few options here. Now you can go to share and export at the bottom here, or you can go to the top right and hit the share button there. So you have a few options. You have public links. Now you can select a theme here. You can have it show as a multi-page, a single page, a course, and there's advanced settings. So you can tick these boxes on or off. You can have a show video on your page. That will drag in the YouTube video. So if you don't want that, you tick that off. You can have it allow search engines to index your content. You can hide the link to video page. So let's do that. You can even have lead generation. So collect leads by requiring email sign up to access content. This would be great for a course or any information that you don't want anyone to see until they signed up to your email. And now here you can fill out some details, the headline, the subheadline. You can add in a hero image. You can even add in a start time and an end time for your video preview. You can add in theme colors, gradient, content preview, so this text will be shown before the email form, which is nice. You can even add in your privacy policy URL, which is always important and makes it look more legal and official and authentic, and even a GDPR, which is for Europe, so that's important. Legislation there. You can add button text, so you can change what the button will say. And now you have form, and it's got two already here, the email and the placeholder, which will say basically inside the email that text. You can have it as required, so they'll have to fill that bit out. And of course, you can add in more fields. Now they've got 4, which is okay for signing up to an email. It's not the most comprehensive form, but it will do. So you got text, and if I add the field here, you can choose maybe name, add in your first name, or something like that. You can have it as required. So all the information you put in here, the user will need to fill this out. This is a checkbox, so you have 2 options, required again and default checked. You can also add in select. So if we went there, you could put in an option and a value. If you want it to be SEO optimized, you can add in the SEO title and the description, your logo, and it's got all these tick boxes here. But I'm guessing once you fill out the form, it will be able to show more of these options. And then you click generate link and it will generate this form for you. So that's really nice. Great for a course, I'd imagine. So say you wanted to select one of these themes, and I wanted it as a multi-page. I'm not going to fill out this lead generation form, but if you did, it would come up for this page with loads. So if I go to open here, this is a multi-page. So on the left here, you've got the sections, and first of all, it shows you page by page. So if I went on the left here and chose that, it will show you this section, and then if I went down, it will show you each section of the blog post. So really nice, a nice way of people filtering through quite easily and sharing your content with. And then if we go back, or if we just click here, right, we have to go right back. So it would be nice if there was an easier way for that. And we'll have to go back to share and export. And now if we go to a single page, and this is what a single page looks like. So it's essentially a whole blog post in one without all the sections or the editing bits in between. So it looks really good, and that's an even better way to share your whole blog post in one kind of full way. Now the last theme I want to show you is course, and for this you need to have show video ticked on, and you would have to update shared content. Once you're done, you go to open, and this is the course. So it will start auto playing the video. And this is the layout, which is absolutely amazing, really nice, looks professional. It's got the timestamps and the sections here, so you can just go to any of them. It will go to that part of the video and also show that part of the blog post. And if you want to sell your course, you can basically add in a lead generation form, and they will fill that out before this course is shown. That's a really nice integration, and I think that's a good selling point for VideoToPage. But that's not the only way you can share and export your blog posts. You can now go to download, and you can download as a markdown, which will download a zip file containing all the markdown pages. You can have a one-page markdown, HTML, and a PDF. And they'll all come out in really clean format as they should. And you can actually only tick one of these at once. And then once you're done, you'll go to generate export. Now, the best option is export, and you can actually export to WordPress.com, WordPress.org, or Ghost. And they have guides on here on how to set these up. So to do this, you would go to your settings, integrations at the top, and you can connect to any of these. It also has Notion, which doesn't show on the previous screen, but it is there, so that's really nice. Now, I'm already connected to WordPress, but what you do is you would choose the WordPress that you want to connect to, such as .org, fill out your details here. There's even a link which will tell you how to do it, a step-by-step guide, so very easy to follow. You do need to put /wp -JSON at the end, otherwise it won't work. But apart from that, it's very simple. And whilst we're in the settings, there are notifications, so you can receive all these updates, project updates. So when one is completed, you get an email, which is pretty cool. And now they have AI settings. Now, here are some really cool options. You actually have the ability to add in your own API key from OpenAI or Anthropic. They don't have OpenRouter, which is a shame because it will give you access to more models, even Perplexity, which gets real live data off the internet. But you can choose from both of these models, add your API key, and all of your options here. And I'll do that in just a sec. Now, before I show you the custom models that you can choose from, it will tell you the system models that it's using. So for generating a project with AI, so used to generate summaries, outlines, and instructions on how the AI will generate pages, it's actually using Claude 3.7, I believe, which is the latest one, but you can use any of these models as a global way to generate content, and that's really cool. They don't have any mini, which is good to see. They've even got the new one, 4.1. I'm going to leave it as Claude 3.7 Sonnet. That is bringing me good content there. And once again, the AI for Page AI will be using Claude 3.5, but I can just use 3.7 Sonnet. And it says under here, you can use the following models without providing your own AI key. So this makes me very happy, and it does generate really good content, and it's more noticeable than other platforms. Basically, it doesn't give you a load of crap and overfill your content with nonsense. Now, let's say for some strange reason you didn't want to use these awesome models, you wanted to use your own. You would go to custom, you would select your provider. I should have put that as OpenAI, but never mind. Now you can choose from all these different models that are available for your API on OpenAI. Some of these you might use, like Nano or 4.1. You can then adjust the temperature, the max tokens. Some of these I wouldn't know what to do, but they're all there if you want to. And once again, you can do the same for Page AI. So really nice options there, and it's just great that they have that. You can also create API tokens. So for those of you who want to access VideoToPage client API documentation or API service, they have that. There's a whole document here on how to do it, how to set up your endpoints. I'm not so familiar with API, but for those who are, it has everything here, which is really nice and got lots of information on it. Now, they also have webhooks, so if you want to send your workflows or blog posts to a different platform using tools such as Make or Active Pieces or Zapier or something like that, you can do this here. If you go to account, you can update your email. Okay, so I'm sure you're desperate to see some more blog posts and different ways to create them, so I will show you one more. Now, if we go to new upload again, and this time I'm going to put in a podcast. Okay, so this is a video of Alex Hormozi, and he's a very popular entrepreneur. And this video is 36 minutes, and some of his podcasts are almost like 2 or 3 hours, but I don't want to use that many minutes up. So let's just grab this URL, go back here, and we'll upload and configure. Okay, so once your video has been processed, you can go down to these options again, and the first thing we need to do is transcribe. Now, I'm just going to leave it as it is because the default options are the best. But don't forget, if you're from another country and use a different language, they have quite a few here. Now, this will take up 36 minutes. And once it's transcribed, this highlighted area down here, this will change from 3 hours to whatever 36 minutes of that is. 3 hours and 20, I believe. And that transcription was really quick. Now, you can just go to generate new content, and you don't need to add advanced chapters. So let's, for instance, we don't want to do that. We want to create marketing content based on this video because Alex Hormozi is an entrepreneur and he does talk about marketing a lot. So let's put that in, select the tone. So he's quite enthusiastic, so let's go with that. I know the outcome will be quite funny, the output, but it's good to test these things out. Now, we do want images and quotes because I bet there's some good quotes in here. Custom context, we can add in here clickbaity, brutal titles for each section and just see if we do get that. So once you're done, go to generate project. Okay, so the video hasn't finished generating all the content yet, but you can see here it's taken in the clickbaity, brutal sections in the title. So the title itself is 15 brutal truths about success that will give you an unfair advantage, which sounds very much like Alex Hormozi. And you can even choose his style if you want. And here we go. Here's a hard truth. Pain isn't just a part of growth. And this is very much like him. And don't forget, we are using Anthropic's latest Claude Sonnet 3.7 model, which is fantastic. And this is just absolutely brilliant. It's added in a little screenshot there. And then you come in and you've got emojis as well, which is nice. Adds to the effects of the post. You've got in some really cool clickbaity titles, and this is just a really engaging blog post. And there you go, it's got another quote: your fear or regret must supersede or side, must be bigger, must be greater than your fear of rejection. Really good quote there, and it's just fantastic. Brilliant blog post and output. And now the readability score is actually 73, which is very easy. It's slightly going down, but it tells you what the scores are based on, so fairly easy to read for middle school students, clear and straightforward, and clear text, good for business writing, so you can get a rough idea on what it's good for. Okay, so I'm sure it has populated 15 brutal truths, which is what the title says, but it hasn't actually laid it out like that. So you might want to come in and change and edit some of this, such as this one here. You might want to just look at the text, look at the video, and alter these. Although it's in here all the time, you can ask the chatbot to change that if you want, and it will do its best to make it in a more appropriate format so it's more understandable. Or you can just come in here and change the amount of brutal truths that you see. So there's a lot of features and editing that you can do to make it perfect. Now, back to the post earlier that I created for my review on Ollie. I just want to show you how easy it is to export it to WordPress. So all you'll need to do is go to export. You'll go to the WordPress that you want to. You can either choose publish or draft. They don't have schedule. You can include the video, and all you need to do is say deploy. Now that will take a few seconds, and there we go. It says successfully deployed, and you can click here to view it on the site. Now this is my setup. So there's the thumbnail, and it's got the title. It's uncategorized, so I'll have to change that. And this is it. So as you scroll down the page, this is the layout, and the quotes look fantastic, really stand out. The formatting's great. This is in Gutenberg. So all the way down, it's a long blog post, got the frequently asked questions, and that is it. And I've actually used VideoToPage to create blog posts for my YouTube videos and upload them to my website, which is sasltdreviews.com if you want to check that out. I haven't quite finished it yet, but it's in development. So now under post, you'll see that it's been published, which I didn't want because I haven't finished it yet. So we need to remove that from publishing. But yeah, it's as simple as doing that, and you can do it on Notion and Ghost as well. Now, the last feature that I would like to show you is workflows. And thank you to the founder for giving me access to this. It's in beta currently, and I'm going to show you what it's all about and how it works. Now, a workflow is basically a quick way to generate content by putting in your URL or uploading your video, and then you will choose a workflow, and then all of a sudden it will just generate all this content that you've added to your workflow. And instead of going through it manually, you already put in all these details, and it will be a really quick way of creating content. Okay, so to create a workflow, you just go to this button. It will have a drop down of 3 options, which is blank, authentic blog post, and WordPress blog generation. I'm going to show you blank workflow. Let's call this SAS LTD reviews. Go to create workflow. Now this is the workflow screen, and here is where you'll add your steps. So the first one is you need to input your media, which is already there, and that's the only way you can start. And what you'll do is go to edit, and now you can edit your workflow. So first of all, I'll change that, add in a description. And now what you can do is add in the steps that you want the AI to perform or create content for. So the first step is content analysis. And to add, you just go to the drop down arrow, add step, and you can choose either a transcript, a screenshot, or a chapter. I would want the transcript first, so you add that, and now you can manually edit the details here. So for instance, we might want enable paragraphs. Once you're done, you go to that, and that's your first step. Now, if you want another step, so I want screenshots, you'll go to that, go to edit, and done. And now it's added in the screenshots. And let's say we want chapter, we can go there, and now we can fill out all this information. So I might want it in the style of Alex or Mosey, and we'll go to done, and there's your 3 steps that the AI will perform first for content analysis. Now what we want to do next is go to content generation. We'll go to add step, go to project, and now we want to go to edit. So here you can choose from all the options from earlier. The step labels project, I might want it as reviews, and you can add in a description. Software review post, generation type, we want it as review, which is there. So it's got all of the additional ones added, so all of them are there. You can choose the language, select the tone. I'm just going to choose original, and we'll want to generate images, quotes, and we can also click advanced chapters. So that will enable to use AI generated chapters in content generation. So let's click that on. I'm just going to add in here again, right in the style of Alex or Mosey, and then you'll click done, and that's one blog post or review post that it's going to create. But of course you can create another. And I could say after that, I want to create a long form blog post. And what I'll do is I will change this information. And once I've filled out all that, I'll go to done. So what this means is that the AI will create the reviews, then it will create this long form blog post, and you can add in more steps. So it can create like 4 or 5 different pieces of content. So this is really cool to create quick and efficient blog posts. The next up, you have deployment. So if we go to deploy, go to edit, and this is where your content will be deployed. So we have the label and a description, and now you choose where you want it to be deployed to. So WordPress.org. Then you can choose the project. So let's say I want reviews. Select a connection, that one, I want it as draft, and then you'll click done. Now you need to click done, otherwise it won't work. And once you have finished, you go to update workflow, and it will say workflow updated. Now you can use this across any of your videos. So to do this, you just go to new upload. This is a short video because I'm creating 2 pieces of content. I don't want to use all my credits up because I have many to use this month, more to use this month. So when you've added in your link, you go to select workflow. I don't know which one it is, so I'll just go to the top one, and you might want to call it something different. Once you're done, go to upload and configure. Now it will be running the workflow that you have created. So first of all, it will download the video content, and then it will do all the additional options that you chose. So now under workflows, you'll see execution history, and you'll see what's happening at the moment, and that this particular workflow is in progress. So it's going to go through each stage, and at the moment it's done all of these, and it's got a tick mark next to it, and it's currently doing the screenshots. And at the moment, generation and publication are blocked, but when this is finished, the content analysis, generation will start. Okay, so it has completed, but it said the publication was a fail. But if we went to retry, it says failed again. Now, I'm not quite sure why that is, if it's a bug, but let's check out the input media and see what it's given us. So it's given us 2 blog posts, one long form and one review, and it still looks like it's generating content. And if we click on it, yeah, it's still generating at the moment. So although it said done, it isn't actually done. Okay, so this is the review. Really nice, just like the others, just how I like it. And I can see they spelled multi wrong. Now I did show you a way of doing that earlier, but there is another way, and that is to ask the chat assistant, which is even more effective because it will take the whole blog post into consideration. So let's put in here, change the words multi URL and multi to correctly spell multi with a Y. And now that's going to look through the whole blog post and make those changes. Okay, so on the left here, you can see the assistant has told us or told me what it's changed. It's changed the project title, the page's names, quotes, and everything. So I can see here it hasn't changed this one here, and it said in the quotes So I don't know what happened there. And some of the other content has changed, but there's a couple of others that hasn't. So like any blog post, you would come in here and you would edit some of these anyway. So it only take a few seconds, but perhaps something they could look at is more precise editing from the chat assistant. And now if we look at our other generated content, the long form blog post, you will see here it has a few more paragraphs and it looks more like, well, just a general kind of long form blog post, still capturing all the details, but in a different kind of way. Either one is probably appropriate to use and looks good. Once again, they haven't captured the correct spelling, but that's all right. We know how to do that. Okay, guys, so that's basically all the features of VideoToPage. It has a lot. I just want to show you a few more additional features and news. First of all, we have help and resources. Now, you can see the feedback, the documentation, or the changelog. Let's go to documentation because I'm quite impressed with their documentation here. And you have everything from guides to your transcription, AI content editing, global settings, everything you really need to get up and running. Now, if we go to their roadmap, you will see there's a few things going on here. So they've done a few updates, which are noticeable. In progress, they have advanced visuals. Next up is wrap images with links. So when someone clicks on the image, it will take you to the link that is attached to. Allow custom transcript upload. I'd really like to see some more advanced features than this, and I can't think right now what, but I'm sure there's quite a few additional things they can add or take inspiration from other platforms. The backlog is here, so publish images to integration, custom domains, and a couple of others. But overall, the whole platform is very accurate. It does what it does well, and I'll be using it for my YouTube videos to create blog posts onto my website. Also, Lucas, the founder, he's quite active. On the first day, I tried to chat with him, and within a few hours he answered. He's not always on, but he's pretty responsive overall. Now, let's talk about the plan and billing. And if we go to that little tab on the bottom left, you'll see here I actually have an AppSumo subscription because I had that ages ago for tier 1. And if we go to view pricing plans, you will see that there are 3. And if you pull this bar up or down, you will see that you can choose the average video length of your videos. So let's say you had 30 minutes average. It will tell you below under each of these tiers how many transcriptions you can create, video digests, and all of that stuff, webinars. And if we adjusted this, say, to 3 hours, you will see that it's now going up. So this is a good way to give you an idea of which plan you might want to choose. And then below each tier, it tells you what's available and what isn't. So only for the agency package do you get all these upload features such as bulk upload processing, YouTube channel sync. You also get the publishing on tier 2 and above, automation and API, so that's the workflow, but you don't get these other bits below. So if you run an agency, this would be ideal, but for maybe entrepreneurs or small businesses or small YouTube channels, you might want to go for business or even professional. One thing to also note is that VideoToPage is optimized for mobile and tablet. So if I clicked on any posts and once it's loaded, you'll see that it's completely optimized for mobile, which is really nice because sometimes I like to create videos on mobile and you can even edit them, generate content, and everything you can do on the desktop version. Okay guys, so the question as per usual is, would I recommend VideoToPage? And the answer is a big fat yes. It will definitely be my go-to to create blog posts from YouTube or video content, as the blog posts are at a high quality because the AI models are better, and in comparison to other platforms, AI model choice and output is what you're looking for, not necessarily all the features, but you want a decent blog post that essentially might rank on Google. And over the next few months, time will tell, and I would have to do an updated video. And guys, if you are interested in grabbing a subscription plan for VideoToPage, I will leave a link in the description below. It is affiliated, but it's at no extra cost to you and it would really help. And you'll get yourself an awesome tool. Okay guys, don't forget to check out my other videos, like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I will see you on the next one.